I'll start with things that are weird, but still kind of mild on the scale of what female creators have been accused of. And as time goes on, we'll go deeper into the stuff that people online called predatory or just straight up disturbing. I went through a lot of suffering reading all these cases. Nothing here is me calling anyone a criminal or guilty. These are accusations, allegations, internet investigations, and public controversies that people online talked about for years. I'm just the guy relaying the information while questioning why I didn't choose a nicer hobby like pottery. Anyway, let's start with Anna Campbell.
Anna Campbell has publicly used her platform as a weapon against us and many others. After breaking up with Anna Campbell to get help for my addiction and mental illness, she kicked a milkshake in my face all over my living room in front of YouTuber Ali Hardesty.
Anna Campbell is one of the clearest examples of how an influencer can be celebrated as a community icon, while privately treating the people closest to her with manipulation, control, and behavior that went far beyond a toxic relationship. For years, Anna built a large audience inside the LGBTQ+ community. She had a strong personality, a bold online presence, and a reputation for being outspoken and real.
Hello everybody, my name is Anna and welcome the fuck back to my channel. I'm going to be so real with you.
Fans saw her as chaotic but lovable, someone who had been through a lot and needed compassion. That persona protected her for a long time. But behind the pride flags and soft lighting, a very different story was unfolding. As ex-partners later came forward, they described a pattern. Anna would start relationships with intense love bombing, constant affection, dramatic declarations, and promises of emotional safety. Then the tone would shift. She would isolate them from friends and family, guilt them for having outside connections, and create an environment where she was the only emotional support they had left. If they tried to pull away, she would weaponize mental health, threatening breakdowns or self-harm to keep them close. What looked like passion from the outside was, according to multiple exes, a cycle of emotional manipulation.
This video is for anyone who is a survivor of abuse, male or female, publicly or privately, online or offline. You are not just a victim. We are survivors. Anna Campbell has publicly used her platform as a weapon against us and many others. Anna Campbell time and time again has threatened suicide to us to prevent us from speaking out. We are survivors.
One partner described how Anna would glorify heavy drug use and even filmed her taking substances without consent while she was still in high school.
Anna Campbell claims to be a mental health care professional, but was aware that I fell into a drug-induced psychosis while in a relationship with her. Anna Campbell filmed videos of me using hard drugs without my knowledge or permission,
and sent them to me while I was still in high school, glamorizing the use of hard drugs.
Exes said Anna would intentionally start fights, provoke emotional reactions, or push them to the edge just to make herself feel needed. The relationships weren't just messy, they were deeply damaging. But the most disturbing allegations came from reports that Anna wasn't only targeting adults. Former partners said Anna was communicating inappropriately with people who were far too young, even while she was still in relationships.
Without my knowledge, Anna Campbell was sexting with minors while in a relationship with me. Anna also sent explicit photos to a group chat of young fans, some as young as 12 years old.
These weren't internet rumors. They came from people who were close to her and experienced the situation firsthand. According to them, Anna used her platform and influence to blur boundaries with minors in ways that should have never happened. And when the accusations finally surfaced publicly, Anna didn't deny everything clearly or take full accountability. Instead, she uploaded emotional breakdown videos, crying on camera, talking about how she couldn't take the pressure and positioning herself as the one who was suffering.
Taylor, if you're watching this, please stop. Like, please. Like, I actually can't do this anymore. I can't sue her because it's $20,000 and I don't have $20,000 to sue her. I already looked into suing her and it's $25,000 fucking dollars. And I can't sue her. Like, nobody understands what this is doing to me. Please, Taylor. Please, somebody send this to Taylor. Please just stop. Like, she's doing it so subtly. She's making it seem like she's not doing anything, but she is. She's retweeting things right now. Her last retweet is sexual assault. Fuck you to everybody who was taken advantage of. I didn't fucking take advantage of you.
She tried to frame the situation as a misunderstanding or as people attacking her because she was broken, but her exes said that was exactly the issue. She used her trauma as a weapon to excuse the harm she caused. One ex-partner explained that Anna consistently glamorized self-destructive behavior while simultaneously calling herself a victim whenever she was confronted. Another said that she manipulated her viewers too, curating a narrative where she was always the hurt one while privately causing emotional chaos. Many fans defended her for years because they felt sympathy for her mental health struggles. That sympathy, according to her exes, was part of the problem. It allowed Anna to avoid accountability while continuing harmful patterns. When the allegations finally hit a breaking point, Anna's career collapsed almost overnight. Former collaborators publicly cut ties, fans unsubscribed in waves, brands backed out, comment sections filled with people calling her out for years of abusive behavior that had been ignored. And despite all the emotional breakdowns she posted online, nothing changed the fact that multiple victims had come forward with consistent stories. Eventually, she stopped uploading. Her channel became a shell of what it once was. Comments were turned off, videos were left untouched, and she effectively disappeared from the platform. There were no legal charges, no court cases, no official consequences, but her online reputation was destroyed beyond repair. Then there's Zoe Laverne, who somehow managed to become the internet's example of why parasocial relationships between creators and minors should never exist.
So I just found out about her existence yesterday, but Zoe Laverne is 19. Can we keep the same energy that we have for male predators for female predators? And this just goes to show that a problem in society and how we glorify the fact that, little boys get with women no matter the age. We glorify boys and men getting with women, regardless of how the encounter took place or, the legality of the situation. But it's not okay, babe. To that 13-year-old boy and other 13-year-old boys like him, that is not okay. You are being groomed and assaulted.
Zoe was a TikTok star who blew up when she was still a teenager, and her audience was mostly even younger kids who saw her as this sweet, relatable girl they could look up to. But then the internet exploded when footage surfaced of her being physically affectionate with a 13-year-old fan, while she was already a legal adult. She was 19. The kid was 13.
What?
I was at her house and we were just sitting there in her room, and she kind of just thrown herself on top of me and asked me, "Are you ready?" And I instantly knew exactly what she was referencing, and my heart was literally beating so fast, and I was just kind of silent.
And what made it even worse was that she later acknowledged they had a very close emotional relationship and had conversations that were completely inappropriate for their age difference.
It just happened. We both were in a dark place when we first, and friends do that. They catch feelings for each other. That's not a bad thing. Yes, the age is a bad thing. Yes, it's wrong. Yes, it's not good. And we both realized that, and we stopped because we didn't want to get this out of proportion. We didn't want this to happen. We knew that it was wrong, and we wanted to stop, and we did.
People online said it felt like a classic grooming dynamic where an older influencer showers a younger fan with attention until the kid feels special or chosen. The screenshots and videos people shared made it look even worse because Zoe acted jealous of the kid talking to other girls his age. She'd cry saying she didn't want him drifting away from her. Critics pointed out how she acted like a controlling girlfriend, even though she denied having a relationship. But she did admit they kissed more than once and said she was sorry and didn't mean for it to happen. And the most mind-blowing thing is that Zoe was in a loving relationship before she decided to mess with that kid. The weird thing is, she still tried to downplay it by saying he was like her best friend, and she didn't realize how young he was, even though he literally looked 13. And her fans defended her so aggressively that it actually scared people. You had kids arguing online that age doesn't matter when the love is real, which is exactly the type of message no adult should ever encourage, especially one with millions of followers. Parents were furious, and a lot of people said Zoe should have lost her platform permanently because she clearly crossed a boundary that could have harmed a minor emotionally. But somehow she kept making content like nothing happened. She even got into another controversy where she threw a tantrum because Charli D'Amelio passed her in followers. She broke down crying, saying it wasn't fair, and her fans comforted her, while ignoring the real problem, which was that she messed with a literal child. She kept posting, kept growing, and kept getting brand deals until people eventually just stopped talking about it, which says a lot about how the internet treats female influencers differently. But that's adorable compared to what comes next. Lovely Peaches, real name Brittany Johnson, is one of the most extreme examples of a creator who used shock value and chaos to build an online presence and then crossed lines that no one should ever cross. She originally became known for her disturbing humor, unpredictable live streams, and outrageous statements that were so over the top people didn't know whether she was serious or just trying to get attention.
I just found out the most amazing news. So last week I went to go get tested at the clinic, and they just called me and told me I have 4 STDs, one being chlamydia. I've wanted to have chlamydia my whole life.
Wow, man. Damn.
I feel like I might have AIDS, but I don't want to spoil the surprise for myself. But if I have AIDS, I'm going to throw a HIV party. It's going to be one of the biggest parties I ever throw. I'm gonna get my—
For years, many viewers dismissed her behavior as trolling, but eventually it became clear that what she was doing wasn't a character, wasn't a joke, and wasn't performance art. It was genuinely dangerous. Her situation escalated dramatically once she became a mother. Instead of calming her behavior or becoming more responsible, she started making alarming claims online involving her baby daughter. She talked about harming her child, bragged about things that made the entire internet sick, and treated motherhood like a prop for shock content. At first, people assumed she was lying for views. Then the statements became so extreme and so specific that it became impossible to pretend she was just being unhinged for attention. It didn't stop there. She openly encouraged harmful behavior online, especially toward minors, and posted things that were completely unacceptable. She claimed she was helping predators, she openly discussed illegal and abusive actions, and she even told viewers she had sold things involving her daughter. Another claim people hoped was fake but couldn't ignore.
Slap her, punch her, all type of things when she was a few days old. And I did a lot of things to her. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get it all out there. I did a lot of stuff to Cora Miracle. I used to pinch her skin.
Hey, boo.
I remember one time she woke me up at 3 a.m. and I was really pissed off. So I grabbed her by her arm and I jerked her out of her little crib. I grabbed her arm, I jerked that hoe out of her crib, and damn near broke her arm off. And I pinched her skin so hard. I said, "Bitch, you don't wake me up at no fucking 3 a.m. My family was there, unfortunately, and she screamed so fucking loud. And they ran into my room and they said, "What happened to her?" And I was like, you know, she wakes up every day at 3 a.m. She always wakes up at 3 a.m., like 24/7. Every day she wakes up at 3 a.m. So I was like, she just wakes up at 3 a.m. She always cries at 3 a.m. They was like, well, this is a different cry. She normally not
Hold
crying
on,
now.
Kathy, I'm gonna tell
She
you.
must be hungry, anything for them not to investigate, because I don't want them to see the pinches on her skin.
So this right here, Kathy B.
Every time the internet begged her to stop, she escalated. Every time people reported her, she reappeared under a new username or on a new platform. Her entire online persona revolved around doing the most disturbing thing possible to keep people watching. Eventually, major platforms stepped in. TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook all permanently banned her after years of warnings and reports. By that point, Child Protective Services had also been alerted because of the sheer volume of concerning content she posted. And after an investigation, her daughter was placed into full-time protective care. Lovely Peaches was no longer allowed unsupervised contact, and for a lot of viewers, that was the first time they felt like the situation finally moved in the right direction. One of the things people still talk about is how long it took for anyone to step in. For years, the internet treated Brittany Johnson's behavior like entertainment because audiences were used to TikTok and Instagram creators exaggerating or pretending to be crazy for views. But Peaches wasn't pretending. She was actively crossing boundaries, encouraging harmful behavior, making explicit threats, and using her own child as part of her content. A lot of viewers felt guilty afterward for laughing at it before realizing the severity of what was happening. But that's also adorable compared to what comes next.
What?
Tiffany Smith is one of those internet figures where the deeper you look, the worse everything gets. Most people know her as Piper Raquel's mom, the momager behind the viral Kid Squad on YouTube. But after the Netflix documentary Bad Influence dropped, it became clear that Tiffany wasn't just a controlling parent. She behaved like someone who used children, fame, and power in ways that go far beyond strict parenting and straight into disturbing territory. From the very beginning, Tiffany treated Piper as a brand, not a kid. Beauty pageants at age 3, social media accounts before she could write her own captions, and a full-blown influencer squad made of children who became essentially unpaid actors in Tiffany's little empire. The kids in the documentary described a schedule that sounded more like a factory job than a childhood, waking up early for schoolwork and filming until after midnight. They said Tiffany controlled the tone of every video, every joke, every reaction, and that being themselves was basically not allowed.
Everything was controlled by Tiffany.
We were filming like 10 to 15 videos a day.
Okay, action.
But the part that shocked viewers wasn't the work schedule, it was everything else. Multiple kids said Tiffany used characters and voices as excuses to say inappropriate things. She had alter egos like Frank the Pug and Lenny the Cat, and the kids said she used those characters to say or do things that crossed very obvious boundaries. Instead of acting like an adult responsible for children, she acted like someone hiding behind jokes to get away with behavior that made kids uncomfortable. Several members also talked about Tiffany making suggestive comments toward minors, behaving behavior that no adult should ever direct at a child, especially not a parent or a manager. Everything in these stories followed the same pattern: inappropriate comments framed as jokes, weird boundary crossing, and behavior that made minors extremely uncomfortable while Tiffany brushed it off as comedy. And then there was the situation with Reagan Beast, a squad member at the time. He described how Tiffany would comment on his appearance, ask private questions she had no business asking, and invade his personal space. During one live stream, she allegedly behaved in a way that no sober adult should behave toward a minor, touching him, making comments, and escalating her behavior while the camera was rolling.
Reagan was only 17 years old. Things became even weirder when Tiffany grabbed the collar of his shirt, telling him he's hot, and moved even closer to him. And then out of nowhere, Tiffany grabbed Reagan, pulled him towards her, and kissed him.
So we were on my live stream having a good time. And then it took a really unexpected turn. She forced herself on me. I was shocked.
The moment the live ended, the footage disappeared from the internet. For Reagan, that wasn't comforting. It made him realize Tiffany had the power to erase anything she wanted. But Tiffany's behavior wasn't just directed toward the kids she managed. One of the most disturbing parts of the documentary involved a fan named Megan, who turned out to be an adult man sending Piper expensive gifts: computers, cameras, luxury items, and constant messages. The documentary says Tiffany knew he was not who he claimed to be. Instead of cutting him off, she allegedly encouraged engagement because the gifts benefited the channel. Multiple people said she even encouraged other kids to send him photos. Nothing explicit, but still a shocking violation of safety and boundaries. Instead of protecting the children, she leveraged their popularity for items and attention. The documentary also included allegations that Tiffany mailed Piper's personal clothing items to adult fans.
It's been about like 2 days since
Corinne came home and asked me why old men like to smell underwear.
Piper had acting lesson, voice lesson, one of those. After we dropped Piper off, Tiffany was like, I have to go to the post office and drop off some things. And she had a bag and she pulled out what looked like Piper's underwear. And I asked her, like, why are you like shipping those out? And she told me that old men like to smell them.
The lawsuit filed against her describes her bragging about making money off her daughters in ways that raise every possible red flag. Whether she thought it was harmless, business savvy, or just didn't care, it was an enormous betrayal of trust. Things escalated even further when Tiffany put Piper on a subscription-based platform similar to adult creator sites. The content wasn't explicit, but the platform itself is known for adult content, and the photos were styled in ways many people found extremely inappropriate for a minor. Multiple people, including other creators, said this looked like a soft launch into adult content, shaping Piper's branding years ahead of turning 18. This pattern, grooming an audience to view a child in older ways, is disturbingly common in exploited child influencers, and Tiffany followed that blueprint step by step. Then there's the retaliation side. Kids who tried to leave the squad said Tiffany had the power to destroy their careers overnight and used it.
If you leave the squad, you're going to get blacklisted.
She would start hate campaigns.
It's like a cult or something, like you can't get out. You know all the consequences of even just crossing her.
You didn't hear the way she spoke to me!
They described sudden drops in views, mass reports on their channels, and hate campaigns launched through Piper's account. Fans would suddenly turn on them the moment they left the squad, even though the public had no idea they were gone. The kids said only Tiffany knew the timing, suggesting that she orchestrated the backlash. Some of the squad members were family, nieces, and still they said the pressure, guilt-tripping, and manipulation were intense. Kids who went to CPS said they lied out of fear because Tiffany convinced them she'd go to jail if they told the truth. Then we have SSS Sniper Wolf, real name Alia Shalish, is one of those creators who managed to look squeaky clean on the surface for years while quietly building a long list of controversies behind the scenes. Most people know her as the reaction queen. Bright thumbnails, PG jokes, and a personality designed to make parents think she was safe for kids. But underneath the polished edits and funny commentary was a pattern of behavior that people eventually recognized as predatory, manipulative, and reckless. Most viewers found out about her darker side in 2023 when she doxed another creator, Jack Films, by showing up outside his home, recording his house, and posting it to millions of followers. That incident alone was bad enough to get her demonetized by YouTube. But the truth is, her concerning behavior started years before that. Old Omegle footage resurfaced, showing Sniper Wolf interacting with teens in ways that made viewers extremely uncomfortable. She made flirty jokes, commented on their appearance, asked invasive questions, and acted like the interactions were harmless fun, even though the people on the screen were clearly minors. There are clips where she teased underage boys, made weird comments about their bodies, or joked in a way that blurred the line between friendly and inappropriate.
you'd see out of a bad Brazzers film. She wagered her tits, saying that if these underage-looking individuals did what she asked them to do, she'd show tits. This was a video back in like 2014. They do it, and then one of the kids' moms walks in. It's like very fucking odd, awful shit. And this is just another, alarming thing that Sniper Wolf has in the backlog of her lore.
It didn't stop there. Other footage showed her prompting young users to do things on camera for her attention, treating it like a challenge or dare. Commentary channels pointed out that she framed it like a game, a back and forth where she was the one with all the power. She acted like it was harmless because she was joking, but the behavior created an obvious imbalance. She was an adult influencer with millions of followers. They were minors trying to impress her. Creators like Penguin0 publicly criticized her for these interactions, calling them manipulative and predatory.
As I was rendering this video, people found another seemingly illegal, potentially, piece of content that Sniper Wolf has on her channel. In this video, she's talking to strangers on Omegle, and then she meets this girl who says that she's 16, and then agrees to show each other their boobs, and the 16-year-old flashes the camera, which Sniper Wolf does censor, but that doesn't make it okay. I'm pretty sure that's still illegal. You can't just have an underage person being sexual on video and then just say, hey, wait a minute, Buster, it's fine because it's censored. It's like, what the fuck? And the video is still up right now. And in the whole clip, it's not like there was some just kidding, not actually 16, actually in my 20s. There was nothing like that. After that happens, Sniper Wolf just said that, she's fake like her or whatever, and then disconnects. So it really seems like she just had a minor flash the camera on a YouTube video. It's fucking crazy.
According to critics, she wasn't just being edgy, she was pushing boundaries with kids who didn't fully understand the situation. And because she always played the role of the quirky, friendly YouTuber, most people ignored the warning signs. Then came the confrontation with Jack Films. After he called out her content for being lazy and repetitive, Sniper Wolf escalated things in the worst possible way. She went to his house at night, filmed the exterior, and posted it to Instagram with millions of followers watching.
Last night, Sniper Wolf, a massive YouTuber, showed up outside of our home, recorded a video of our home, and then posted it to her 5.6 million Instagram followers, goading me with the line, "Let's talk like adults."
That wasn't a joke. It wasn't a prank. It was dangerous and crossed a legal and ethical line instantly. YouTube responded by demonetizing her entire channel. She released an apology saying her actions were inexcusable and that she was sorry to Jack, YouTube, and the community. But viewers didn't buy it. Many said the apology felt robotic, like she copy and pasted the whole thing from a generic PR template. Overnight, the reputation she spent a decade building fell apart. SSS Sniper Wolf didn't just lose views, she lost trust. And even though she still has millions of subscribers, her name now carries a permanent stain that no apology has managed to wash off. But if SSS Sniper Wolf weaponized her fame, the next one weaponized a ukulele. Because now we're talking about Colleen Ballinger, the Miranda Sings lady. Colleen Ballinger, better known as Miranda Sings, is one of the clearest examples of how a creator can build an entire career around children, profit off child audiences for years, and still pretend she didn't understand the responsibility that came with it. For more than a decade, Colleen was seen as a quirky, harmless comedy YouTuber. She made silly songs, awkward skits, weird faces, and marketed her character directly to kids and early teens. She toured with them, performed for them, and interacted with them constantly. But behind the jokes and the bright red lipstick was a creator who blurred boundaries with minors in ways that shocked the entire internet once the truth came out. The first major red flag surfaced through Irish YouTuber Adam McIntyre, who revealed that when he was around 13 to 15 years old, Colleen had been sending him inappropriate messages, leaning on him emotionally.
This slowly turned into me getting private details about her divorce and what was happening with the relationship with her ex-husband. Around this time, though, was whenever my parents started getting a little bit more cautious and were wondering why a 30-year-old was talking to, at this time, a 13-year-old about her divorce.
And even mailed him lingerie as a joke.
They found my Twitter so funny that they said they needed to send me bra and panties that Corey was wearing during the live stream.
That outfit! Screaming homeschooled Christian University realness.
Adam, Cookie Ballinger said, "Hi, you are such a fashion icon," and tweeted the ugliest picture of me. This is honestly the worst outfit. He's so rude. What made you order these ugly clothes?
Adam!
Those clothes are nasty. He's so rude. Oh my god, he's so sassy. Your Twitter account is making me laugh so much. Oh my god, that makes me laugh. I want to send him something. Do you want the bra, Adam?
Adam, do you want the bra and panties? Tweet right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, Adam, let me know what you want. He's in Ireland. Hi, Adam. I love you. Okay. I'm sending him something. Okay, maybe he'll want the panties. Although then his parents will be like, you're not allowed to watch who is sending you panties. Even Mom, don't worry. I watched the boy wear them online first.
So, this was what I was sent. I don't even know. Sorry, I don't know which way this goes.
He didn't ask for it. It wasn't part of any bit he participated in. Colleen tried to defend herself by saying she gives weird things away all the time. Taco costumes, old shoes, random objects. But this wasn't the same. This was an adult woman mailing lingerie to a young teenage fan. Other fans then came forward and said she treated minors in similar ways. She ran a private fan group chat called The Weenies, where she regularly interacted with underage followers, sometimes asking personal and inappropriate questions like, "Are you a virgin?" while treating it like a casual joke.
Text messages that she sent on a group chat with minors. So on the first one, a kid says, "My ass looks so good today, y'all," and she replied with pics at him. On the second one, she said, "Tell me all the thoughts you had when you first got your periods, please, thank you." And then she again said, example, "I thought I shit myself because the blood was so dark in my underwear." On the third one, she said, "Adam, you need questions for your Q&A. Are you a virgin?" On another one, she said, "What's your favorite position?"
These weren't adult fans, these were minors, and she acted like there was nothing wrong with having these conversations in a group she controlled. Screenshots showed minors discussing sensitive topics with her, while Colleen responded like she was part of their peer group instead of maintaining any sort of boundary as a grown adult with influence. Fans also said she treated them like emotional support systems. She would vent to them, share private details, and position herself as someone who needed their advice and comfort. It was a strange dynamic where minors acted like counselors to an adult content creator they admired. Commentators pointed out how manipulative this was. These kids looked up to her and she was using their loyalty and innocence to build personal, inappropriate closeness. When Adam McIntyre's story resurfaced in 2020, Colleen tried to downplay the accusations. She said everything was a misunderstanding, that she didn't mean harm, and that sending lingerie was just part of her quirky humor. But people didn't buy that explanation, especially when more screenshots leaked, showing she interacted with other minors the same way she interacted with Adam. The evidence made it hard for anyone to believe this was an isolated mistake. It looked like a long-term pattern where she used humor to mask behavior that crossed serious boundaries. That was when she released the now infamous Toxic Gossip Train video. Instead of addressing the allegations with honesty, she picked up a ukulele and sang an entire apology song, treating the whole thing like theater.
A lot of you are trying to suggest it was more of a loser kind of way, where I was just trying to be besties with everybody.
She sat there strumming chords while minimizing accusations, mocking critics, and pretending everything was exaggerated. The video became one of the most embarrassing apology attempts in YouTube history. Viewers were stunned that an adult woman responded to grooming allegations with a musical number. Critics said it showed she wasn't taking the situation seriously at all. Her fans were done. Fellow creators were disgusted. Even longtime supporters said they felt betrayed. That video wasn't just tone deaf, it was the final proof that she cared more about keeping her comedic persona alive than acknowledging she had deeply hurt real people. After that, her career collapsed almost instantly. Her main channel went silent. Her tours stopped. Her comment sections filled with backlash. She disappeared from YouTube entirely. Well, not entirely. She's still active on her second channel, where she posts consistently up to date but struggles to get decent views. A creator who once packed theaters with young fans now couldn't post anything without the entire internet reminding her what she had done. But that's also adorable compared to what comes next. LaineyBot, now known as Kai Jackson, is one of the clearest examples of how an influencer can look harmless on the surface while hiding something much darker behind the pastel colors and soft-spoken personality. For years, Kai branded themselves as a gentle, quirky, queer creator. They made gender reveal videos for themselves, talked softly to the camera, and positioned themselves as the normal one in their relationship with controversial YouTuber Onishin. And for a long time, people believed it. But behind the aesthetic was a long, unsettling history of grooming young fans. Kai's victims weren't random strangers. They were minors who first looked up to them as supporters, fans, and members of their online community. Many were underage teens who idolized Kai and saw them as a friend. Once that trust was in place, the boundaries started to shift. One former fan fan named Sarah explained that she was only 14 when she first reached out. Kai responded immediately, complimenting her and giving her their phone number. She wasn't an adult, she wasn't a peer, she was just a minor. As time went on, things escalated. Sarah eventually moved into the household Kai shared with Oneshon, under the promise that she would be kept safe. Instead, she found herself pulled into an extremely inappropriate dynamic that involved all three of them. By the time she turned 18, she said she was pressured into a physical relationship with both of them, something she never fully consented to, and something she'd later described as confusing and traumatic. This wasn't an isolated situation. Multiple minors came forward claiming Kai blurred boundaries, flirted with them, or encouraged emotional connections that weren't appropriate. Kai always played the gentle character online, but these allegations showed a pattern that didn't match the persona. They weren't just complicit in Onision's environment, they were an active participant who used their influence to pull minors in. Despite the overwhelming number of screenshots, testimonies, and years of accusations, neither Kai nor Onision were ever criminally charged, but both were banned and demonetized across major platforms, and their reputations were permanently destroyed. Many of their victims say they're still dealing with the impact today. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives like this, hit subscribe so the algorithm actually shows you my next upload. Stay safe online, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.